We do have a certain amount of special effects and visual effects because it's important for the storytelling.
But don't have your hand straight in front of you, have it a little out to the right.
Yeah.
It's our job in the creative side of the crew to understand as best we can what the director's after, get into their head, and bring that to life. The ghosts were really kind of up in the air. There were some concepts that the directors had come up with, but it wasn't locked. So it was fun to kind of get in there and say, what's different and what's new? I find the best tools for that is lots of pictures, lots of sketches. Previs is really helpful. That was a process going back and forth and trying to figure out what characteristics a ghost has, the evolution of a character, if you will, of a ghost character. We went through a lot of things. What we didn't want to do is, the sort of traditional, oh, it's a see-through ghost, it's Casper. We wanted to do something very different and give it a real presence. That was why we chose to make them solid, why we chose to make them cast shadows. Anytime a ghost would move in a scene, even though it wasn't shot in a scene, you have straw move or rope swing. That, to the audience, says, oh, it's in the scene. At the end of the day, that's what they were after. Something that was completely real and completely believable, and they didn't want it to be effectsy.
The ghosts were actors.
Should I let him come up?
No, it's part
Same
of the
time.
struggle. Yeah, it's like...
Okay.
So it wasn't just like they were just going to stand there and, okay, I'm a reference, here I am.
So like elbows, do it like this.
Perfect.
They really were characters.
And then we've affected them to take them to the next level of something that's really scary.
Our ghost characters now in the film are shot a very specific way to give them a really kind of a jerky, disjointed creep factor.
And action.
The DP, David Geddes, and myself started playing with different film rates.
Your hand ready to lean in for camera.
If you have an actor act in slow motion, like if I were to do this kind of thing, and you film it at 6 frames a second, actually what it gives you is a thing that's kind of stuttery and jerky. And then applying that into someone else that's just acting in real time definitely says, that can't be right.
Action.
One scene, Crab Boy, as we call him, we shot it at 6 frames a second, and then we actually built a rig and inverted it on the ceiling and wall.
That's sailing, yeah.
We suspended him and rigged him so he could crawl down the wall. You flip that, and he crawls up the wall and does his thing. It's quite successful. For the crows, we did use a combination of live action, green screen, CG crows, puppets, and animatronics. Of course, they wanted it to be very real, and yet, as we got into it, crows had to do things that were very un-crow-like in their behavior. Crows, for example, fly a certain way. They don't fly up, particularly.
What the hell?
We use a flocking technology to take 1,000 of these things and sort of make them fly in a way as a group that they just wouldn't do. We really studied the behaviors of birds, and it took about a year actually to complete the development of this model, and it came out really well. So they're very believable when they get up close, and yet they do sort of things that aren't believable. We ended up shooting a lot of those crows just on green screen and using them in the shots, flying and landing on roofs, flying past camera for someone to react to.
Just try follow him all the time. And try get.
Should I try to knock him away?
Yeah, same.
The times that we used puppets was in the scene where John Burwell is running from the crows where they're attacking him.
Action.
For the most part, as long as they were just coming into frame, it was cool. But every now and then, a whole arm came in. You could see the guy. So, we had to take those out and clean those up and or cover them with digital birds as though they were flying through.
We just shoot it here.
Okay,
And
so you
I'll walk
don't need a
through.
wide shot?
You don't need the wide.
No, I don't need the wide.
So wherever you were when that happened?
Grabbing some reference plates, guys.
When you get your DP and your production designer, your effects soup, your directors, all these people kind of working together, it really is great because the continuity of something overall is more seamless.
Back.
I can feel it. The day that we shoot it, the teamwork.
It was working together, following the director's lead on how to create something that we'd never seen before.
We put our twist on it and it became unique.
This movie delivers the horror that the Ghost House kind of formula requires, along with the unique Pang vision. It was that kind of east-west blending that really came up with something new and unique.
They found a way in their film to get horror every which way. Realism, a little bit of effects, a lot of good storytelling, some really good characters.
Just please. Just stop. We've got a really solid group of actors, so I think that's gonna raise the bar. It's not just a scream fest. It has a really solid story.
There are some forces out there. There's a lot more than we just see with our eyes that people sense. It touches that nerve in all of us. This film makes you jump a lot in all the right places.
You walk away from that and are still scared.
And that's what horror is all about.